We all have a really well-developed idea of what it takes to get a university degree, to go to medical school, to go to law school, to go to business school. But what does it take to become a watchmaker? What is the curriculum? We're here at the École Technique de Vallée de Joux in Le Sentier, one of 5 watchmaking schools in Switzerland. Pierre Bichel will take us through the 3-year curriculum that the students follow to become trained as watchmakers, qualified to go out and work for a watch company. I think, Pierre, the best way to understand how a 3-year curriculum works is to take a look at where it ends, which is to say what is produced at the end of 3 years of studying for the watchmakers in training, which is this marine clock.
Absolutely. The first year, the watchmakers will do all the small metal parts here around to make the marine movement work. And then in the second year, as you see the movement from behind, they'll be doing all the watchmaking parts, the wheels, barrel, and bridges. And in the third year, escapement and adjusting all the pieces so the movement works.
Pierre, we've come into the area for the first-year students, and we saw the clock, and
yes.
If I understand correctly, the basic case and the gimbals were all made by the students during the first year.
Absolutely.
And they're making these parts by hand, starting from raw metal.
Yes.
So all of the fancy machines that people may have seen that watch companies have are not part of this right now. This is handwork as it was done 200 years ago in many ways.
Absolutely. They're working, you see how they work here on different, the different machines, the lathes and the drilling machines. Well, here it's in fact a special part because it's part of a screwdriver, that's a special screwdriver that we need to assemble, in fact, the case of the watch. And this is the handle of the screwdriver that we specially built to be able to mount this watch.
Well, that's actually part of watchmaking, isn't it? Sometimes you have to make a tool to make the watch.
Absolutely. So we start here by the tools before we go on.
So here we see one of the first-year students working now on a part for the box itself, because we have not only the watch case, but things like the hinges and the closure of the box. What is he doing here?
So actually he's making the closure of the box. You can see him file here to make the closure go exactly onto the box. The idea is you have the perfect clack when you open the box and when you close the box. So second year, like here you have a very fine example of what they're going to be making. Here you can see the teeth of the barrel wheel being cut. So a special technique here where you can see we're going to cut one at one, means we're going to go round the entire barrel and making one tooth at a time.
This is some interesting fabrication.
Well, you have the balance wheel staff being made this way. You have also all the wheels, the staff wheels made by hand. We keep this in the apprenticeship because it's very important for the skills, and we want to keep this very ancient technique alive.
We've come upstairs, Pierre. Upstairs is the third year, the final year, and we see the attire changes. Everybody is now dressed in white like watchmakers. And we have the ultimate watchmaking activity taking place here, the core of watchmaking, which is réglage. And if I understand correctly, these students are preparing for a contest, a competition.
Yes, they're preparing for the competition of the SSC, Société Suisse de Chronométrie, which is taking place here with all the schools of Switzerland. The idea is naturally regulating the best possible watch and win the first prize. This stage is poising the balance wheel. We will call this équilibre statique, statically, because afterwards there's another poising that will be called équilibre dynamique. Static here is the wheel isn't in the watch and isn't in real movement. When it gets into real movement, then we'll do the équilibrage dynamic.
But this is to be sure that it's evenly balanced all the way around the circumference of the balance wheel. Is that right?
Absolutely. This is the first job we make on the balance wheel once it's been assembled, and this will ensure us to have a perfect wheel to start le réglage.
So he just uses a puff of air to get it spinning and make sure that it's not stopping in the same position every time.
Yes. Well, on this machine, exactly, we have to adjust the length of the spiral to make it beat. This is 18,000 beats per hour, and actually the spiral must be cut to be adjusted to this frequency. And on this machine, student can adjust exactly the length, and then the machine will cut the balance spring at the right place.